We're starting.
What if
Okay.
it's like Dwight Powell?
They don't need Dwight Powell no more because they just drafted a nice little big man. But we can get started. I don't want to waste any more time. If this dude joins, it's fine. He's one of those dudes that commented on my story that he wants to join my pod, but I have no idea who he is. So it's whatever. Welcome everyone to the 45th episode of Some Casual Takes, a podcast host. I didn't change the intro. This is the Casual Takes era intro. It's fine. Featuring other sports fans debating interesting topics with the most casual takes. Should change that to factual takes because we are in our factual takes era. L host. I told everyone I was starting at 12:30, and then I was like, "Yo, I'm kind of busy. I'm gonna start at 1," and then Chipotle messed me up, bro. 40 minutes in a Chipotle, man, is crazy, bro. It's just crazy to me. But we're here. We're here. W host. This episode is brought to you by no one. Kieran is here again. The fake Giants fan, ready to talk some NBA. And we got Jaden. Jaden finally on the pod, ready for the smoke.
Yeah.
How we doing
Sadly,
today?
I don't have a webcam, but it's I'll make it work.
OBS is crazy. How are we feeling today? How are we feeling today?
We're doing pretty good.
It's raining where I'm at. It's Friday.
Yeah, it's raining outside too.
It stopped raining for me.
L weather, but W hoops discussion. So today we're talking about the NBA draft. Obviously, was last night. The Jordan Poole trade happened yesterday. We can talk about some other things, but those are the headliners. But I first want to talk about the NBA draft. Now, I don't know how knowledgeable you guys are about these prospects. Hopefully you guys are, because I'm not going to lie, my pre-draft preparation this year was by far the worst it's ever been. I don't think I've spent that much time prepping for this draft. So I'm hoping you guys do, because I'm going to sound like a casual when I talk about this draft. So
yeah, Victor Wembanyama, bro.
I literally focus only on Victor, and then a little bit of Scoot.
That's literally all I cared about. And
I don't know who this Victor Wembanyama kid is, but I'll make it work. I'll focus on the Spurs because apparently he's the best prospect since LeBron James.
I think he's the best prospect ever. Like
that's fair.
I think
that's
he's
mainly
the best prospect ever.
Yeah, well, that's mainly because
LeBron. I don't even think LeBron is like top 2. I think Kareem is like a better
prospect. Victor. I think like Wilt Chamberlain's one of the best prospects ever.
Yeah,
Shaq's up there.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of more prospects.
Shaq was.
I mean, Zion as a prospect was
Zion, Shaq, David Robinson, Patrick Ewing. Those are prospects that are really
Patrick Ewing's an underrated prospect. But Victor, I think 7'4", 7'5". The man is essentially offensively Kevin Durant, but instead of being a borderline 7-footer, he is 7 foot. Not just 7 feet tall, he's 7'4". So he's got a Kevin Durant bag, just 5 inches taller. And defensively, he's Rudy Gobert, which is
that's like, bro. It's like it's probably better than Gobert. Like I compared it to Hakeem one time.
I said this before. Like, if there's one person that can pass Michael Jordan and LeBron James, it's Victor.
Maybe.
Let's just hope he stays healthy.
No, because like when I think about it, this dude could be the best defender in the league and like a top 5 offensive player in basketball as well.
Yeah, he could be. I mean, like, dude, he has like the shot creation ability, shot making ability like KD. His defense is kind of like Gobert, Hakeem's. I don't want to say Hakeem just because like that's really high. That's a really high.
Yeah, he's really good at blocking shots. Like really good.
He's like Ben Wallace.
And I feel like people kind of like say that he's gonna get injured, even though he's not really injury prone. Like I get that he's skinny. Maybe injuries could be a problem, but like he doesn't have that much like injury reports on himself. So
he's also only 19. So
yeah.
But we also saw what happened to Chet, and I think people fear that. People fear like the tall guys usually never fare to be durable. I mean, I think he's the 6th tallest guy in NBA history, 5th or 6th. I can't wait to see Victor. Because if he does pan out to what we say he is,
I mean,
the league's over. The league is absolutely over.
Yeah.
I mean, Kareem is pretty skinny. He lasted about 20 years.
Yeah, Kareem was pretty skinny.
He was.
I don't really think like I mean Victor has been kind of working out recently, but I don't know. I think
Bro,
that
what if Victor like bulks up like Giannis?
He will.
then I think that's
The
gonna
league
make
he
him
would be the
worse.
greatest player ever known to be.
That's gonna make him worse, to be honest. But let's see.
If a rookie can win MVP, it'll be Victor Wembanyama. Charlotte took Brandon Miller at 2. You guys are big fans of that or nah?
No, I give
Charlotte's
like
not
I
at
mean,
all.
like I
you
get
should
my thing
like
is like with like Charlotte, like they already have LaMelo Ball, but like I feel like Scoot Henderson can play shooting guard. Like I don't know.
it's like in the top 3. I feel like you should always go talent over fit. The top
Yeah.
5 actually. I feel like you should go talent over fit
Like James
for that
Wiseman.
pick. But like if I were to give a grade for that pick, I give it like a solid C.
Because like Brandon Miller's not a bad player.
He's not. And
He's
I
not.
picked Alabama to go very far. I think I had Alabama winning the national championship strictly off Brandon Miller. I remember in the regular season, I was
Yeah.
very high on Brandon Miller. I
I'd
still
say
think
he's
Terrible. He was terrible in the
I
tournament.
thought he was top 3 in the draft going into the tournament. I was like, yo, Brandon Miller's nice. This dude's dropping 30 to 40-point games at his size. He's elite. And then Alabama, and then he just completely just pooped himself in the March Madness tournament. And it kind of made me just like, yeah. But he has potential. But I would have went
does.
Scoot there because I really like Scoot.
No,
Yeah.
because like even
Bro, last year's draft, like if Scoot Henderson was like eligible for last year's draft, I would think he would go number 1 over guys like Chet Holmgren and Paolo Banchero. But he's literally sitting next to arguably the best prospect ever.
He would have went over. I don't think. He would have went over Palo. But
Yeah.
Scoot is like insane. I saw his numbers against Wimby. They were great. Man, hitting step backs on Wimby. Man, special, bro. Scoot.
If I were to give like the Hornets like a grade for Brandon Miller, like again, I'll give a C. Spurs, I would give them like an A plus, obviously. Blazers, it's a weird one. The Blazers is a weird one.
my thing about Scoot, like even if the Hornets, like let's say like the fit doesn't work, you could still trade them to get more assets.
Yeah. But like the Blazers have so much guard depth, like it's insane. Like they have
Oh,
Dame, they have
you
Shaden
said
Sharp,
trade.
Anthony Simons.
Wait, what'd you say, Kieran? Trade Brandon Miller?
No, I was saying like if the Hornets drafted Scoot Henderson and the fit of LaMelo Ball and him don't work, you could still like trade one of them to get like more assets.
Yeah, that's why they should have took Scoot. Like the number 2 pick for Brandon Miller, people wanted the number 2 pick to pick Scoot, and they just didn't take Scoot. Now that number 2 pick has like no value. I don't think people are gonna give up assets for Brandon Miller.
I hope Brandon Miller's good though, because like,
I hope he
he's
is.
a pretty good player.
Like I know it's fit over talent, but like I feel like MJ just picked Brandon Miller on purpose so he can just
He
leave
said
the
he liked Brandon
franchise.
Miller.
He did. I mean, like
go see
it went to Scoot for like minutes before the draft started. The odds were on Scoot just because Brandon Miller said that MJ airballed the free throw and whatnot. But guess
No, it was
MJ
because Shams put out a tweet saying that
yeah.
the Hornets were picking up momentum with Scoot, and Shams works with FanDuel. That's part of my theory that Shams is a puppet for FanDuel, but that's besides the point. Yeah, I would have took Scoot there. Scoot, I love Scoot's competition too. He's a very great competitor. Plays defense, very emotional, intense guy. That dude wants to win games. Pairing him next to Dame in a backcourt, this ain't no CJ McCollum. The dude he's very more athletic, can play defense. Dame will be fine.
Yep. I mean, like, I would give the Blazers an A for Scoot, not an A plus, just because once again, and so much guard depth. Like, what are you gonna do with Simons?
They didn't
Yeah,
need
what
a
do
guard.
you probably got to move Simons.
That would make sense.
Who knows?
So,
But they had to take Scoot. They'll figure it out. Like they had to take Scoot. I mean, realistically, with Jeremy Grant, I think he declined his option, or he's testing free agency. He's probably gone unless Portland wants to make him money. Realistically, a forward would be better. Like Brandon Miller, realistically, would have been better for them fit-wise, but you just have to take Scoot there. Okay, moving on. The Thompson twins, those were all good picks. I don't think anyone's debating the Thompson twins. Houston looks really good. I'm really excited.
I agree. I think Amen Thompson's gonna help out Jalen Green a lot.
Amen Thompson, I mean, like, I think he's like the best passer this draft class. Like, feel like him developing under Ime Udoka is gonna like help the Rockets. I don't think they'll be playing teams yet, just because they need more veterans on their squad. So
That's a
I want to
really
wait
young
with the
team.
Rockets too.
Very.
Like, I thought, Jabari Smith is really young. Freaking Jalen Green is still really young.
Sangoon.
Sangoon, yeah. I mean, they got talent. They're just really young.
I really like
They
this
are very
team.
young.
Houston going for it.
And the Pistons, they got a wing on Sor Thompson, who
With
is
Cade
a pretty
Cunningham
good
coming back.
better defender.
No,
They both
You say?
I was gonna say
they both lack three shooting.
the Pacers. I don't know what the fuck they're doing, but whatever.
I
The
mean,
Wizards.
look, they traded it to Washington.
Which is stupid. I thought Jarris Walker was a solid pick for Washington.
Like
think they
Jarris
won that win.
Walker, Taylor Hendricks, and Cam Whitmore, even though it fell all the way to
Cam fell
20,
off.
could have.
Oh, they drafted Cam too. Yo, Houston, bro. I think they won the draft. You get a man to run the point. He's gonna run your offense under Ime Udoka, and you get Cam at 20, who Cam could have went like 5. So you basically picked like 2 top 5 guys in the draft.
You know what? No, Spurs still won the draft because they.
Well, yeah, I mean they still won the draft,
got to go.
but like a non-Spurs team. I mean, obviously you win when a non-Spurs team won.
The Spurs literally got the greatest player ever. So
yeah, they got the GOAT. The Spurs have probably had the best number 1 draft selections I've ever seen. You get David Robinson, you get Tim Duncan, now you get Victor Wembanyama.
That's
like
crazy.
What are these? When they win the lottery, there's always this all-time great player waiting for them.
Yep, like I can't wait in like 20 years where the Spurs get like someone's like young,
someone's kid,
like Luka Doncic's son or something like that.
Luka's son at number 1.
Yeah.
Anyone? Oh, you know what I did like? I'm gonna start going through teams I like and teams I didn't like. I really like Dallas getting Derek Lively II. I really like Dallas getting Derek Lively II. I always thought they were going to go after a big man in free agency, maybe like a Brook Lopez or someone like that, maybe trade for DeAndre Ayton for the last like a year or so since they lost the Western Conference Finals, because I thought their biggest issue was a lack of interior presence. But I think they did a good job. Derek Lively, number one guy at a high school the year ago. He gives him a lob threat and a great rim protector. I think he's the best rim protector outside of like Wembanyama, not counting Wemby. Best center rim protector in the draft. They get a rim protector defensively. That's what they needed to start. I think I talked about it. I literally said it yesterday. Before the draft on my TikTok live. I said if Dallas wants to compete and run it back with Kyrie and keep Luka, they got to go Cleveland Cavaliers style and just make 3, 4, and 5 straight defenders. And they've started it off with getting Derek Lively. So.
I think Dallas, I wouldn't have been mad if they kept Case and Wallace because I thought that was a good pick too. But yeah, you got to get the big man.
They needed an interior presence.
That pick and roll is about to go crazy.
Yeah, it is. I mean, Derek Lively can also stretch the floor too, which is something that you have to look out for. I mean,
he'll work on it. He's not there yet.
In my opinion,
stuff, but he'll work on it.
In my opinion, besides the Rockets and Spurs, I think the Mavs won the draft just because they got the guy that could fit with Luka really well.
And they got off Bertans' deal.
Yeah.
They got off Bertans' deal.
Yeah, Bavis Bertans. I don't know. I don't even know how he was worth any assets with that kind of contract he has. But
worth less than freaking.
Who else won? I'm going down. Who else won?
I don't know how he got that.
Oh, there's one guy
contract from the Wizards.
Oh, the Pelicans getting Jordan Hawkins at 14. I think that was an absolute W. I thought Jordan Hawkins should not have fallen out of the top 10, 11. And the fact that they got him at 14, they needed more shooting on that team. And if they can run a lineup with Hawkins, who I think is a guy, I've always loved dudes who win championships in college. I love championship DNAs. I love dudes who come from great teams and win championships. I mean, I think Joel Okafor came off a championship, and we saw that.
Don't talk about that.
We forgot about that. I like dudes
Jalen Brunson.
DNA. They're ready. Oh, Jalen Brunson. DiVincenzo. Dudes who are I think Mikal Bridges also won a championship. Dudes who come off just straight championship DNA and they're ready to win. Jordan Hawkins coming off a UConn championship. This dude, he's not going to be a superstar, but I think he can come into New Orleans and make them very good. So you got Hopkins, McCollum, Ingram, Zion, and whoever they run at the 5. That's a good line. That's a top 5 seed.
Jordan Hawkins doesn't need to be a superstar. Like
no,
he's just there to be like an.
He needs to just
guy.
be a good shooter.
He's a very great off-ball guy. My one is not really there, but if he can move off ball, catch and shoot, because he's a young guy, so the shots aren't going to be there for him. But since he plays off the ball, he can get more shots than what normal young people would.
My one question with him is defense is like really questionable.
No, it's really bad. It's really bad.
Yeah,
it's really bad.
Like the thing about the Pelicans is like they don't really have a point guard. They really don't.
Yeah. Unless Jordan Hawkins comes off the bench and then you have to put like McCollum at point guard and then like throw in a Herb Jones and get better on the perimeter. I don't know.
The floor spacing.
Pelicans, like, I'm just saying this about the Pelicans though. Like, if Zion is fully healthy, this team can compete in the West.
I said they're top 5 seed in the West if Zion's healthy.
We said this last year and it was true at one point, and then
they're in the 1 seed.
Everything went downhill.
Oh, very.
But I'm still betting on them.
Guys got like Alvarado, you got Ingram, you got Herb Jones, like Trey Murphy, Larry Nance Jr., like Zion. Like they have a lot of talent on this team. Like
they do.
Let's see.
I threw in Larry Nance.
Losers though, if you have 2 top 11 picks, and I don't feel comfortable about how you left the draft, it was the Orlando Magic, bro. I'm sorry. I feel like they lost.
That was.
I feel like
Anthony Black.
Anthony Black. I just don't love
Anthony Black is a nice prospect, but 6 is kind of crazy. I felt like since they
6,
I felt like they could have went to 11. And then Jet Howard too. I actually really like Jet Howard.
Yeah, Jet Howard at 11.
But 11's kind of crazy. They went 2 guards.
I really don't love this. Like, I don't love this draft for the Magic.
I don't like the Magic going forward. Anyways, I really don't like them going forward. I like Houston. I like Detroit. Out of all the young teams in the league, I don't like the Magic a lot. I don't, and I really think they fumbled this draft.
They had the opportunity to get Taylor Hendricks, Cam Whitmore, even though his workouts were bad apparently, and Jarris Walker. Those were the 3 guys that I thought were going to go to Orlando. Or Thompson.
Dick at 11. Grady Dick was on the board.
Sorry, I lost all respect for Grady Dick.
Oh well, you just don't like his draft.
Why?
He is the worst outfit I've ever seen.
Yeah, you just didn't like his draft. Bad. It's okay to say it.
Oh, dude, it's so bad.
Grady Dick or Jordan Hawkins, you have 2 of the best shooters in the draft, and you don't take either one of them when your team literally sucks at shooting. Like you're probably the worst shooting team in the association.
They probably should have taken it out.
The only floor spacer they have on their team besides Jet Howard now is literally Gary Harris.
Oh my God! I didn't think he was still in the league. I didn't think he was still in the league.
No, and this is the problem with the Magic. Like they're ruining their like ceiling now. Like,
that's why I said I don't like this. Oh, man, with Banchero.
I was shocked when they took AB at.
Maybe Banchero can become like a 4 spacer, but
nah, dude, he had that stretch where I don't think he made a single 3. He had a stretch in the season where like it was bad. The Jazz, pretty good Jazz draft. I'm not gonna lie.
They had a great draft actually.
The Jazz are on the come up.
Great draft, actually.
Taylor Hendricks is a pretty good 6'10". That's lane.
I'm not gonna lie. I like the talent of the Jazz now. Like I think
I do too. I really like Walker Kessler. Is Jordan Clarkson still a Jazz or is he a free agent?
Yeah, he's still there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Laurie's obviously great.
Oh, Markkanen, obviously, yeah. Who else they got over there? They kind of people I know who are on the Jazz. Oh, THT, if you want to count him.
I mean, if you want to count Colin Sexton, I guess.
Colin Sexton is like a nice bench point guard, in my opinion.
Taylor Hendricks, Keontae George, and was it Bryce Sensabaugh that they picked? for the
It was-
last. Yeah, it was. Those are all great draft picks.
Mhm.
Bryce Sensabaugh, he can be like your scoring upside player off the
Yep,
bench,
great player
probably.
from Ohio State. Yep.
Hendricks could anchor the defense with Walker Kessler, Keontae George. Despite some inefficiency struggles, he can really just like he can be your floor spacer for the Jazz. So I really like the draft for the Jazz. I really do.
Lakers. How are we feeling about the Lakers? Oh, shout out to the Knicks. No first round pick. Lakers.
All right, bro.
All right, I'm leaving.
It was a good pick. I think it's a solid pick. I thought they would pick someone like let me see who I had mocked. I had the Lakers taking
Cam
Kobe
Whitmore was still on the
Buffington.
board, by the way. And
No,
that's
but
I was praising him.
was.
I didn't expect like if Cam Whitmore fell, I didn't expect the Lakers to take him.
Yeah, that's because they already
need more
just have
shooting. They
LeBron,
need more
who's
shooting.
our yeah, and Jalen Hood-Schifino. I mean, he isn't like he's a. I think that was a good pick for the.
I heard he's good.
I think it's a
My
good pick for the
friend,
Lakers. I mean,
my
like,
friend was his
he
roommate
is good.
when he was at Mount Verde, and he's raving about him. He says he's a Lakers fan now. He's telling me all this good stuff about him. So hopefully he pans out. He's a guard, play a little defense, could get his own shot. 6'4". I guess he's a point guard. I think.
He's a. I mean, like
So bye-bye
he's a
D-Lo.
good ball handler. I mean, like
Yeah. So bye-bye
good
D-Lo.
shooter, good pick and roll playmaker, good ball handler, solid floor game. I mean, like, he's a solid defender. I think he's just a little inconsistent just as a defender. I mean, he kind of reminds me of like Malcolm Brogdon, to be honest. I mean, like,
RJ Barrett.
all right, bro. But yeah, I think it was a good pick for the Lakers. Players like Bryce
I thought
Sensabaugh,
the Heat. I thought the Heat had a
I thought
terrible
Kobe Bean was
pick.
gonna fall to them.
You don't like Hawkes, bro?
No.
It was a terrible pick.
I think the Heat just
that was
think
a
he
bad pick.
fits in their culture. I think that's probably why they took him. I think they just think
Yeah,
he
just
Yeah,
because he's
dude.
old.
He's old. He's old. He can't like, dude. He's an inconsistent shooter.
Well, he
and,
looked
like,
good
how
in
much-
the workouts, though, shooting wise.
No, my problem is like, how much is he gonna get better? Like, I think his ceiling is capped already.
Yeah, as a prospect, he isn't jumping off the board again. You can say what you want about Whitmore's. I heard his interviews were bad with the teams. I heard his workouts were bad with the teams. Dude, if he is at 17, 18, I'm picking him.
Exactly.
Like what
If
are we
he's at
doing?
10, dude, if he's at 10, I'm picking him.
I'm picking him. The dude he's 6'5", 235. Dude's got an NBA body. Dude's ready. Dude's from a great program in Villanova. Being from great programs matters to me. And you're going in with this dude who has an NBA ready body. You develop him. And especially when you're picking this late, you already have a team that can compete. Like if you're a Lakers, Miami, Golden State wasn't going to take him because Golden State wants an off-ball shooting guard because they always pick those type of guys. I'm taking Cam. I was speaking of the Warriors, though. Before we move off the draft, the Warriors took that Santa Clara kid who just typical Golden State kid. Like, I don't have anything else to say.
I agree.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick.
It was a good pick.
No, it's a good pick because Golden State picked him.
It's just because Golden State picked him. Fits their system. Off-ball shooter again. I mean,
it's not even that. I mean, yeah, that is true. But like, he's a good playmaker. He's a really good playmaker.
Yeah, Chris Paul, man.
Yeah, but they got Chris Paul, and we're going to talk about Chris Paul, and that's probably the only reason why they got him for more catch and shoot off-screen opportunities. Oh, and shout out to the Cavs for taking a chance on Imani Bates the second round. Cavs need a wing scorer. Imani Bates has Jordan Poole as shot selection, but if they can get anything from him and a wing spot that literally can't score.
The Cavs' like biggest needs is like wing defenders and like shot creation.
They have the wing defenders. They just need wing shot creation. Karis LeVert can kind of do that, but like,
yeah, but I don't think
Karis LeVert.
Like, I don't think Karis LeVert should be like your best wing defender.
Their best wing defenders are Okoro, and Okoro's nice. They just need more shot selection from the wing. Probably better shot big man because their best shooting big man was Kevin Love, and they got rid of him, and it showed. And also, shout out to the NBA draft. This is the first year where I can say I'm older than most of these prospects. So feels old.
Yeah, I've been older than most of them already.
I feel old. All these kids are like 18, 19. I feel old. So
unless you're I forget his
Hawkes, dude's like 26.
He's like 20. Yeah, he's like 22.
Yeah, I think he played all 4 years at UCLA. He was good though. He's not a crazy prospect, but Pat Riley just likes a certain type of player. All right, we can move on from the draft though. Let's talk about pulling CP3. Now, I talked about this for a while on TikTok last night, but I'll talk about it again. Jaden disappeared. He'll probably come back. But Kieran, I'm asking you, since Jaden was on my live, what's your thoughts on this trade, bro? This CP3.
I think it's gonna be like one of the worst trades like in NBA history. Like, listen, I get it. Chris Paul, he has a reputation as like one of the greatest point guards of all time, but unfortunately, he is really old and like kind of washed. Like, listen, I get it. Jordan Poole is like inconsistent, like really inconsistent. But he's 24 years old, and I get it. He's a massive contract, but I don't think you should trade a dude who was amazing in the playoffs 2 years ago.
Yes.
And his ceiling is not even there yet. Like, I think Jordan Poole could be a better player. Like,
So
I just don't think you trade that young of a player. Like,
so the Warriors got Chris Paul. They sent Jordan Poole, a protected first in 2030, and a second round pick in 27. And I also think they sent that Baldwin kid too.
Yeah.
And like something else also, because these trade details keep coming out like every 5 minutes, which is kind of weird how they're reporting on these trade details that like not everything is coming out at once. So the full package doesn't even come out at the same time. But I don't like, man.
Like, it's a lose-lose. Like, I think, like, dude, the Wizards, like, I mean, they did a solid job, like, after getting basically nothing for Bradley Beal. So, at least
they got 6 second-round picks, if you want to count that.
I mean, like, at least they got a young player who could, like, get better, at least.
No first-round picks for Porzingis and
oh, yeah, that's bad. That's really bad.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. But I don't – Chris Paul's barely healthy every time he has a legit playoff run chance.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to cross your fingers that Chris Paul is healthy. But, man, what does this trade say? Does this trade say that Chris Paul is more value than Jordan Poole?
I guess, like
Jordan Poole should have more stars. So, you know, on 2K, when you make trades, you have star value. Jordan Poole should have more stars than Chris Paul. But
yeah, Jordan Poole, like, dude, like, is it because he like played awful in the playoffs last year? Like, is that the reason? Like,
I don't know.
It's like one, like, he wasn't even like fully healthy. Like, he was dealing with an ankle injury.
Who are we talking about?
It's unfair, like Jordan Poole.
Oh, Jordan Poole. I mean, like,
Jordan Poole could have been used in a Marcus Smart or like a Porzingis type deal, but instead,
exactly. Like, I thought he could have been dealt for like Siakam or Porzingis.
Yeah, Siakam. Yeah.
Like, Klay Thompson is holding him back. Like, he isn't even that good anymore, except for like catch and shoot. Jordan Poole is literally a much better shot creator than him.
And like he could also handle the ball, like
unlike
Klay Thompson with the ball is literally like Killian Hayes.
Klay Thompson, Klay Thompson, if he steps outside Golden State, might be a little sus.
It will be, unless he plays like LeBron or Jokic, apparently.
Unless he's like Ray Allen.
Yeah, but he's probably gonna retire a Warrior, stay a Warrior. But
I'm just looking at this trade details, man. Like, how much is Chris Paul? Like, Chris Paul is gonna help, right? It's Chris Paul.
Well, yeah.
How much is Chris Paul gonna just help this team? I still don't think they solved their biggest issue. My biggest issue with them was size. I really thought they lost the Lakers just off size. I mean, Klay Thompson, Jordan Poole stunk it up. It was an issue, but I thought their biggest issue was size.
I agree.
And I thought maybe a Siakam, maybe Porzingis, maybe someone would help that out. And they got Porzingis, who's 38, who's like 6 foot. Now their guard depth's insane. DiVincenzo's gone. but they still have Moody. They just drafted this kid from Santa Clara. They have Chris Paul. Bunch of guards. No real
Like,
big man.
if they
Draymond
got
Green, what do you do with
they got
him? Like,
Porzingis, I would have loved that for them.
did they try hard enough? Did they
'Cause,
try hard enough?
Like the thing about Chris Paul, like he obviously, like I'm not saying like Chris Paul's not a bad player. He's not a
No.
bad player.
He can help you win games for sure.
Everything he did that was significantly good has dropped significantly.
He's still a good passer. Like he is still a really good passer.
Defense, I mean, he's more hunted now.
He's getting close to like below, like he's like closer to like
He's
below.
probably
he has no hamstrings left. Like,
he's probably worse than Curry defensively now, and like it's tough to
That's
say.
saying a lot.
they just got fleeced, man. Go and
No,
see.
I'm just saying if Chris Paul and Steph Curry, like no, I'm just saying like let's say Chris Paul starts on like Steph Curry's shooting guard, their perimeter defense is gonna get fried.
They are. I mean, like it's not like Cliff.
I'm not saying that Steph's a bad defender, but like he should not be your number
So
one.
what's the projected lineup for the Warriors? ESPN saying Chris Paul 1, Curry 2,
I don't
Wiggins,
think
Klay Thompson 3, Wiggins 4, and
Klay
then
Thompson
re-sign
should
Draymond at the 5.
He should not be. Klay Thompson should not be a 3. He should
Dude,
just stay
Wiggins
as
at the
a 2.
4 would be terrible.
And
Well,
like,
that's what they did during the postseason, and they don't know what they want to do. Like, what do they do with this lineup?
they should just
honestly, I think Chris Paul should start off the bench.
he should be like
So
a
Curry
6
the 1,
man.
Klay 2, Wiggins 3, and then who's the 4 and the 5?
Draymond at the 4 and Looney
Like, bro,
again.
Derek Lively. I mean, like, bro, I thought the Warriors would draft Derek Lively, but like, damn.
Like, dude, I don't know. Like when I'm looking at the West, like when I see these teams, like I think the Lakers are still better. Like I think the Lakers, like honestly, got better in the offseason than Golden State.
Yeah, I think Lakers
Nuggets
are better.
Easily better.
Nuggets are better. Yeah.
I'm not sure about the Suns. I'm really not sure.
Yeah, I mean, like, bro.
Let's just wait. Let's just wait until they trade Aiden. Let's just wait.
Maybe the Clippers could be better. The Clippers.
Honestly, the Clippers wouldn't healthy.
Clippers are better.
Yeah, I think the Clippers and healthy are better, but as of now, I feel like the Warriors seem like a 5th seed, maybe lower, but
yeah,
it's literally Curry.
I think Grizzlies are still gonna be better in the regular season, but come
playoff
time,
downfall. Let's go.
I mean, like even though John Morant's suspended, I mean, like I feel like the Grizzlies are still gonna make some noise, especially.
He's only suspended like 25 games. Like
you know their record without him. They won a playoff game 2 years ago. That regular season they had without him.
Yo, what they were doing without John Morant, I mean, like they literally beat a 64-win team Suns. I mean, like Dylan Brooks dropped 30 that game. I'm pretty sure with horrid efficiency, but.
Unfortunately for the Grizzlies, they don't have the greatest point guard ever anymore, Tyus Jones. Because
he has the highest assist to turnover ratio ever.
No, like every time Ja is out, he literally just balls out.
That's why I compared him to Jalen Brunson because I think he's gonna break out without John Morant.
How old is Tyus Jones? Like, he's only 27, so
he's like 26, 27.
But my thing is like, what is the Golden State Warriors front office cooking? Like, they were in such a unique position in the post-Kevin Durant era where their championship core went in hibernation due to injuries and losing Kevin Durant that they could wait on their championship core to come back and build on their future at the exact same time to extend their dynasty and have a mix of young and old guys and compete for championships. However, I think they just fumbled that build for future process. Like, they started it off with drafting James Wiseman. They essentially had the number 2 overall pick, and 3 years later, they traded him for a guy, basically after like 2 trades, that they lost in free agency, Gary Payton. They turned a 2nd overall pick into Gary Payton. And then Moses Moody's pretty solid. He's pretty solid. Jonathan Kuminga, I think he was the 7th overall pick. He's solid, but they never play him. They're not giving him minutes. They don't know what to do with Kuminga, so they're not using him as a future piece. And then Jordan Poole, who was literally 2 years ago on their championship run while Steph Curry was hurt, was having amazing playoff games, hitting shots in the finals. He was a key contributor to their championship team. He was seen as the third splash, bro. He was literally given a contract to be their future. Now he has one bad playoff series because he was actually pretty good in the regular season. He has one bad playoff series. They ship him off for 38-year-old Chris Paul. And not only did they ship him off for Chris Paul, they gave away a first-round pick and a second. They gave away draft capital, too. And then, I mean, it wasn't a bad pick this year, but the pick that they made this year was another guard when they already have like 3. Like,
I mean, like, bro, the draft that they had, it was good. I thought it was good. Like Brian Podolski, like I think he's a good playmaker off the bench, but like they have Chris Paul. What's the point?
exactly. They have Chris Paul. Like, he's good. He's a good guard, but they have Chris Paul. So what are they doing?
I mean,
like,
Chris
what is
Paul's
Golden
my
State
favorite
cooking?
player. I never thought I had to say this, but now I have to root for Golden State because Chris Paul.
I mean, Golden State's a cool organization. I mean, they've been kind of stupid. They might trade like Draymond Green. I mean, no, Draymond Green's a free agent.
Honestly, they should trade Clay.
I always thought Golden State was a very smart organization on how they developed their championship core. They kind of got lucky. Like, if we're really thinking about it, if that new CBA didn't kick in 2016, this Golden State's run in dominance could have ended a lot sooner. That Kevin Durant to Golden State thing extended their championship runs, and they got a little lucky there. And that luck is showing because since Kevin Durant, they've completely butchered their championship hopes, in my eyes, for the next coming years. And Curry isn't going anywhere, too.
Oh my God, bro!
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think Steph Curry wins a ring again. Like, I'm being
probably.
If they're doing like shit like this, like, he's not gonna win a ring again. Like, he's just not. And like, I don't care how good Curry is. Like, they're clearly not better than the Nuggets right now. Like, the Nuggets might be the next dynasty. Like, they might be. Like,
yeah, they're not gonna be a super team because I feel like they drafted literally almost all their players that are on their squad. Like Jamal Murray,
a great team.
Yeah, they are. I mean, like,
they're already better than the '90s Jazz. They're already better than the '90s Jazz. They're already better.
Not hard.
Already better than the '90s Jazz.
They're already better than the Sixers with Wilt. But
a tweet. Oh, you're corny. You're corny. A tweet by NBA Trade Report. I don't really know if it's that reliable. But says Knicks and Clippers will continue conversation in coming days on a potential Paul George trade.
Ooh,
I would love Paul George.
So how does Paul George get there? Is this a Julius Randle move?
30. I don't know. I like.
How does Paul George get to New York?
Listen. Paul George is 33 and he's injury prone. I got that.
Mm-hmm.
But if he's like the second guy to Jalen Brunson, I would honestly love that.
He's
so who do you give up?
Second, no.
RJ Barrett or Julius Randle?
I would give up RJ Barrett and Julius Randle.
Both?
That's
crazy.
I don't know. I wouldn't do that. I feel like
both might be an overpay.
Yeah,
actually,
both.
Yeah, you're right.
Like RJ Barrett, Evan Fournier, Derrick Rose, 2 picks.
You got to give off there. Yeah, you got to get off there and Evan Fournier.
For Paul George, that'd be nice. I mean, like, maybe we give up Emmanuel quickly so we don't give him that big extension. I'm playing. I mean, if we give up RJ Barrett.
No. I'm saying this right now. If we trade for Paul George and we give up Emmanuel quickly, I'm gonna be so fucking sad.
Nah, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I mean, like, if RJ Barrett gets traded, then Emmanuel quickly is gonna get the bag. But if Emmanuel quickly gets traded, RJ Barrett's gonna keep his bag on the Knicks.
Obi Toppin's probably in that deal too.
Yeah. Obi Toppin, RJ Barrett, or Evan Fournier or Derrick Rose.
But like, if Paul George is the second fiddle to Jalen Brunson, like, that would be pretty good.
Somehow Randall's the third guy can average 24 next to Brunson.
Oh, we got Paul George. We got Pandemic P and Julius Randle playoff translation.
That playoff production is gonna be insane. That's gonna
Paul George's playoff translation isn't bad apart from 2020.
Paul George in 2021, he was pretty good. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, he was the only reason they got that far.
2021, he was good, but despite some inefficiency struggles.
I think Obi Toppin's gonna get traded because I'm seeing a lot of that talks getting picked up.
Ain't no stopping Obi Toppin.
So shout out to Toppin. There's some other things to talk about. Chris Stapps went to Boston. This is like kind of old news, but just quick thoughts on that trade. I don't want to spend too much time on it.
I mean, I love it. I just thought like trading Marcus Smart was just like I feel so bad for Boston fans because like they love Marcus Smart. Like, I mean, you had to trade him. Like, it's a good deal for Boston, but like, it's just crazy. They trade Isaiah Thomas and now they trade
Yeah.
Marcus Smart.
Yeah, I mean,
Two
it's a
guys that were
business. It's a business.
it's a
It
business.
really is a business.
Who's their point guard?
Really.
I
I have
think it's start
Ma-
Brogdon.
Malcolm Brogdon, probably.
Is Malcolm
Odd.
Brogdon the distributor you want on your
I
championship
No.
mean,
team?
he's a good playmaker.
He's a solid. I think he's more of a good facilitator rather than a playmaker because I think Jason Tatum is still their best playmaker on their team.
Well, I agree with that. Like,
I still think they need a point guard. Jalen Brown still
they got
exists.
Chris
So
Paul.
as long as Jalen Brown exists, yeah. So
As long as Jalen Brown's this, they're probably going to lose in the Eastern Conference Finals again. Lose in Game 7 to like Jimmy Butler or fucking like Giannis.
and to everyone who just completely hated on me for saying that the Boston ceiling is capped, flexing Eastern Conference Finals appearances is not a flex if you're the Boston Celtics. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the
Bro,
Celtics are like the
they've been
NBA
the-
version of the
They've been the favorite
49ers.
out of the East for the last 2 years.
I've been
They haven't
picking them
won
out the
shit.
East. They've been an Eastern Conference Finals team since Kyrie was a Cav. And like you've made it to the finals once and you lost in 6 games.
No,
Yeah,
they've been,
2-1.
they've been an Eastern Conference Finals team since Chris Paul was a Clipper.
Yeah, and like you make the Eastern Conference Finals like every year. I think all but like 2 years since that, and like it's not a flex. You're supposed to be there. I see a lot of people saying you got to like. It's cool to get there. Like, don't blow up the core. Like, no, dude. Like, no one's
Yeah,
doing
one
it.
day you have to, man. Like, let it go, man.
Like one day you have to win the chip. Like one
You have
day.
like what 3 chips since Black and White
Jason,
went away.
yeah. Jason Tatum is limited with Jalen Brown on the squad.
No, like since 1970, I think the Celtics have
4.
like
They have 4. The 3 Larry Bird championships and 1 Paul Pierce championship.
Well,
Notice
so
how I didn't say KG. Notice how I didn't say KG championship. Paul Pierce championship.
Don't let Garnett's revenge see this, man.
Garnett's revenge is about to cry.
Okay. I have a topic at the end, but I want to open up the floor. Is there any other topics you guys want to talk about? It could be anything.
Wilt Chamberlain. Now I'm playing.
Not just current day. Not just current day. It can be anything you want to talk about.
I want to. Damn.
So Donnie Pick and Spreads just posted this video. It's about Victor Wembanyama and Patrick Mahomes. Who do you think is going to be like higher all time in their sport?
Oh, that's a good question. That is a good
Safest
question.
is to say Mahomes because I think he's already there on that GOAT path.
Yeah, it's
like
safer to say Mahomes.
2 rings, 2 MVPs. I think he's already like a top 5 to 6 quarterback ever. He wins another chip, wins another MVP. He's already like top 4, top 3. Like
my thing about Wembanyama, if he I know it's very low, but like if he reaches his absolute best, this dude can be like the best defender and like he could be like a top 5 offensive player. Like that's arguably like
I was going to say I thought you were going to say best defender ever. I don't think anyone could ever do that.
Though?
No, like in the league.
Yeah.
Let's ask this question. Like, is it harder to crack the GOAT or like top 3 of NFL players or like NBA players? Like when we think
it's NBA players.
I think it's harder to crack a top 3 to 5 in the NBA. I mean NFL. Yeah. No, in the NBA than the NFL.
I don't know. The NFL, they have stacked positions. I can see why you could think the NBA. I mean,
like for Mahomes, at least like for him to be the GOAT, I think it's easier for like because look at the top 10 quarterbacks right now. How many of those top 10 quarterbacks were from our generation and they already came in one? Some of those guys like a Breeze, like a Rodgers, they only have 1 ring. Breeze doesn't have a single MVP, has 1 ring, just put up great stats, and he's considered like a top 10 quarterback ever. Yep. You do that in the NBA, you're fringe top 20. Like
relax.
Yes, you are. Man. If you have 1 ring, no MVP, great stats, you're not even top 20, dude. You need a chip.
I'm trying to think of NBA.
No, I'm just saying, like especially for quarterbacks, if you win 1 ring, like 1 singular ring, and you play well in that like Super Bowl, they're going to regard you as like a top 20 quarterback ever.
I
Yes,
mean,
because
Joe
it's a lot
Montana
harder to win.
literally.
Because it's a lot harder to win a Super Bowl. So that value of a Super Bowl to me over on NBA Finals, because Super Bowl is more valuable than NBA Finals. It's a lot
I
harder
agree.
to stack Super Bowls
Like
than it
Joe
is for an
Mon
NBA Final.
yeah.
Well,
Joe Montana, I mean, like he did that for like almost his entire career. So like,
yeah, Joe Montana was competing like every year of his career.
That's
yeah,
what I'm saying.
he
Like,
literally.
think how many.
I think he made like 8 NFC championship games in like a 9-year prime.
Well,
Yeah, that's
it can
insane.
be a testament to how the games are changing. But think about your top 10 to top 15 all-time list. More of those people are from the 80s
I
and
got
90s
you.
and the 70s, like the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, than they are from 2000s, 2010. I mean, there's a couple 2000 players in there. But and the thing about the top 10 quarterbacks ever, like I don't rate plumbers like Otto Graham, like NFL Post, but
The GOAT.
when you think about that, I think for Mahomes, you win 2 Super Bowls, which I think are hard. It's harder to do to win a Super Bowl. So if you get a Super Bowl, it already puts you in an upper echelon tier. You win an NBA Finals, it's kind of like,
Good
Like-
job, man.
No, like
compared to a Super Bowl.
the Super
Because a
Bowl
lot
is
more goes
already
into a Super
the
Bowl.
Super Bowl is already more valuable because the NBA Finals has like more games, so like they have more chances to win. But like
And football's just harder.
literally a 7 seed can make it to the Super Bowl and beat the best team of all time, and like they'll be regarded as
Football's
forever.
harder. More
It's, like,
frequent
way harder.
injuries, more worse injuries, more positions. It's more of a team sport than basketball.
Yeah.
A singular
Mhm.
player can't just take over a game like they can
Yeah.
in basketball. So a
definitely
Super Bowl and
think
an
it's-
MVP in football puts you at higher legacy points than a MVP in the NBA
No,
Finals in
like-
basketball.
for NBA, like I don't value accolades, but like for like the casual NBA fan,
Yo,
like,
chill.
not you. That's not what I meant. No, I'm just saying like you can win like 2 MVPs and like a championship, and you could still not be like top 20 ever.
For NBA, I think
NBA,
20.
if you get like an MVP, like someone like Steve Nash, he got 2 MVPs. People don't consider him top 20.
Because he doesn't
Yeah,
have the chip.
exactly.
Because he doesn't have the chip.
I mean, I probably have him top 20, but anyways.
Nah, he ain't top 20. He needs a chip.
He's also Canadian.
Doesn't really need a
Talks points.
RJ
Oh,
Barrett could be
speaking of
top
doesn't
20.
need a chip, that's actually the next topic, by the way.
Oh no.
That was actually the next topic. We can just transition it now. I was going to ask you guys, in the NBA, whose legacy would have benefited the most with the championship? Like, if you think, I know you guys don't value accolades, but kind of be an accolades merchant for a little bit, or put yourself in the shoes of a casual.
Sure.
Since you guys don't value accolades.
Okay.
So you might have to put yourself in the shoes of a casual. Let's say this NBA player has a championship. Like, think about how far one player would climb if he has a championship.
Oh, I got it. It's Joel Embiid.
Oh, yeah. Luka or Embiid? Luka or Embiid?
I think it's Joel Embiid because Joel Embiid already has an MVP.
That is true. Yeah, but
you're thinking about you can pick any player, by the way, like all time.
All time. Okay.
It'd be Nash. It'd be Nash, Jerry West if he won more. But he didn't. He only won one.
I'm just saying this right now.
Think about a player with 0 rings, so like Steve Nash would count.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this right now. If Kevin Durant won a ring right now, more people would respect him because he's not in the Golden State system.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people will be pushing top 10 for him.
Mm-hmm.
Like even more. People still do it now, which I still think it's crazy. But I think Kevin Durant would benefit a lot from another ring.
He would. He definitely would, even though I still think Larry Bird. I think Larry Bird would still be better.
No, because like we all agree that Kevin Durant is the best player on the Suns team. Like we all agree with that, right?
I think it's Bradley Beal. No,
Booker is getting closer to him, but I think it's Kevin Durant. If Kevin
Durant's
Durant's
still not that close.
It's still close.
Yeah,
it's close.
It's still not close.
I
see
Kevin
Durant is
the
best player on the Suns team and he wins the championship. You know how great would that be for his legacy? Because like you could argue like Steph was still better than him. Like
so you're saying KD doesn't have a ring technically because they're Golden State. I think if this player gets a ring, we're having conversations that this dude is a lock for number 2 in his position and he's a top 15 player ever. I'm not going to say his name, but if the dude from Utah would have won a chip, the Predator.
No.
Let me capture him for a second. If the Predator would have won a chip.
Oh, I thought you were talking about John Stockton.
Oh, no. If the Predator would have won a chip, think about his resume for a second.
No.
I agree.
We got a 2-time MVP. The man was all-league first team 11 times. That's the most in NBA history. He was also an all-league defender. He has great longevity, great numbers, second best. No, Hakeem Olajuwon. Top 3 player of the 90s, retired as 2 all-time in scoring. You put a chip to that resume, that is a top 15 player to ever play this game.
That's fair, but I still think Duncan and KG are clearly better.
KG's not better than Karl Malone if Karl Malone has a championship. I do not care. KG is not better. You could say KG is more talented and KG maybe peaked higher, but if Karl Malone has a chip with that resume, that's more. Karl Malone dominated for a longer period of time than Kevin Garnett. Karl Malone accomplished more than Kevin Garnett.
Hold on,
Malone was a better player in his late 30s than KG.
Yes,
and he was
for a longer period of time.
I think Karl Malone has better longevity. I think Kevin Garnett clearly peaked higher when it comes.
Yeah, he did peak higher, but guess what? It's not. But conversations about player rankings to me aren't just about peaks. I value peak.
No. I get it. I get what you mean, but I think there's like a peak gap between like longevity gap.
Let's just hit the real quick.
And if he has a chip, I'm assuming he wins on Utah. Assuming he wins on Utah because he never left. I mean, oh, by the way, Malone would have won a chip. I'm not saying Lakers chip in 04.
Yeah, no.
I'm talking about chip in Utah.
we know.
I'm not talking about like if he would have won a chip in 04. No, I'm talking about if he won a chip like in
I'm saying like if Malone won those 2 chips in 97 to 98,
like imagine a Malone. I get that's the biggest flaw in his career because he kind of did drop in the finals. But imagine if he just like rose in the finals just once and beat Michael Jeffrey Jordan. The conversations we'd be having against Karl Malone, old heads would be parading Karl Malone to be
That's true. This is true, but once again, I still think Duncan and KG would still be
Duncan's better. Duncan's better, but I don't think
would
be better. I don't think Garnett's better.
I think a dude that would benefit from chip as well is Charles Barkley.
Yeah, Charles Barkley too, especially if he even beats Michael Jordan. But
he was very close. He was very close.
He's probably the closest. Probably Utah in '98. They were probably the closest to forcing.
The Suns, like they had like the best offense in the league. They had a top 10 defense that year.
Hold on.
Not in the playoffs. I'm saying like overall in the regular season. Charles Barkley was the MVP. He won his Finals MVP, and like a lot of old heads would respect him as well.
Yeah, but
he just won one time.
Look how many years Malone was over 20 a game or over 24 to 5 a game. That's insane. And the man was consistently playing 81 to 82 games a year, giving you 8 to 10, 11 rebounds a game, while also giving you 24 to 30 points a game. Well, giving you like maybe a block here or there, giving you a steal here or there. If Malone would have won a chip, this is one of the greatest players ever.
I really do, but like I think he'd still be the third best.
Dude,
yeah, you better KG, bro.
Like, dude, from literally from 88 to like 2002, Karl Malone was like a pretty good player.
From 86 to 2003, Karl Malone averaged over. I know, but from 86 to 2003, Malone averaged 20 points or more for 17 seasons.
How about this? Let's compare how dominant Karl Malone was.
Oh, Malone gets a chip. We're recording Malone one of the greatest scorers ever, by the way. We're regarding Malone one of the greatest scorers ever, too, if he wins a chip, by the way.
But the thing is, Karl Malone, I don't think Karl Malone is a bad playoff performer, but compared to like a lot of people, he's probably one of the biggest droppers.
No, he is. That's my thing on the. That's why I said he would have to transcend to win that championship.
I mean, even
That's my
then, like,
knock on him. He did
I mean,
drop in the finals twice.
in 92 Malone, like, I think that's his best season. I think 92 Malone is his best year.
The problem with the Jazz is either Stockton was bad or Malone was bad, and then they never really clicked at the
They
right
just
time.
they just didn't have a lot of consistency.
That's
But
my problem with them is their translation as a duo in the playoffs just never really clicked at the exact time.
yeah,
They
like
waited till they were 35 to finally go to a
yeah,
championship.
in 2000, this is like Karl Malone, like 37, by the way, 37 Karl Malone. He's dropping like 26 on like 58 true shooting in the playoffs, and then John Stockton is just dropping like terribly.
Oh, Karl Malone was a top 5 player in the league for a decade, and that has to matter as well. You're a top 5 player in the league with Jordan, David Robinson, Hakeem Olajuwon, all of those cats, Magic Johnson for a couple years. You're a top 5 player in the league for a decade. That's insane. But the fact that he doesn't have a championship hurts. But if he would have had that transcendent playoff run, won a chip. Now, the chip could have been anywhere in Utah, but like, let's say if he won it against Michael Jordan in the Bulls. Ooh. Malone would be so high all time. I also don't know why he doesn't get the love for one of the greatest scorers ever, too, by the way. This is like insane stuff.
Yeah, because like again, like his playoff translation is kind of.
Well, yeah. Is there anything else we want to talk about? Because that's all the topics I had. I kind of put at the end again, like miscellaneous topics people wanted to chat about.
Yeah, you're good. I'm thinking of like. I'm thinking like what player right now like is probably has like the most valuable to a trade, like
Most trade value?
yeah.
Dame.
Really?
Dame. Oh, like out of everyone in the league or people who could get traded?
Like people that like would most likely be traded. Like I think honestly it might be Mikal Bridges.
I heard teams were sending like 4 first-round picks for him, and Brooklyn said no.
Yeah, because like I don't think Mikal Bridges is ever gonna be a number one guy, but like if you have that dude on your team, like there's a good like as like a third option, there's a good chance like you're gonna be a championship contender. I think like a lot
I
of
don't think
people
it would be terrible as a second option. I don't.
I don't think he'd be terrible as a second option, but if he's a third option, like on a championship contender, like they might go to the finals. Like,
Well, he almost was. Phoenix.
like he has a lot of value. Like, I really do. Like,
If
I really
only
do.
Phoenix would have saw it through and just kept Mikal Bridges, man. If only Phoenix would have saw it through. In Brooklyn, I think he was 26 a game. I need to see his playoff numbers, though. He was 26 a game in the regular season when he got traded to Brooklyn, and he was playing great defense.
Yeah.
I think he can be a 2. I don't think he needs to be a 3. He can be a 2. Let's look at these playoff numbers real quick.
His playoff numbers aren't amazing.
Yeah, they aren't spectacular, but I mean, he did
His first
clip in.
playoff series as the number one guy.
Yeah, he 40% from 3. He was 43%, which isn't horrible. But Mikal Bridges, I think he can be a second option on a championship team. He has insane value. Him or Damian Lillard. I need to see these Dame trade packages because no one's really leaking them.
Yeah.
But him or Dame. Mikal is younger, though. And what he did last year in the regular season, that definitely boosted his value for sure.
Yeah.
So Dame, I don't know if Jaden knew the topic. Kieran said, who in the league out of the people who could get traded like has like the most value? And we talked about Dame and Mikal Bridges.
Jaden? I think he's like muted.
Anyways, well, I guess the third would be Siakam. OG Anunoby always has insane value, but they just never play. Like I've been hearing rumors the last like 2 years that OG Anunoby's going for like 3-4 first-round picks, and they just never trade him. Toronto's just cooking, man.
Oh, another guy, Miles Turner.
He has zero value at this point now.
What?
Dude, like I know he has value, but like, bro, are they gonna trade him? Like, what are they doing in Indiana?
Like, dude, he's been in trade talks like
His whole
since I was in
career.
high school.
Pretty much his whole career. Like since like what, like year 2 or 3?
Yeah.
Like Jaylen Brown too. I mean, he did at one point. If they would have
Oh,
traded like
bro.
Jaylen Brown's, like, let's say last offseason when he was technically the leading scorer of the finals.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown's trade value would have been insane. But after this Eastern Conference Finals tape, when Duncan Robinson's stripping him, he's dribbling the ball off his foot.
Made Duncan Robinson look like a good defender.
Yeah. I think Siakam probably has good potential, but that's all the
I think another guy is Zach LaVine.
I haven't seen a Zach LaVine trade package yet, so I didn't bring up a Zach LaVine. I don't really know his package yet. You can probably get I need to see his contract too, but you can probably get some first. Zach LaVine, let's look him up.
Zach LaVine, like I still think Zach LaVine's like underrated.
I think he is. I also thought Bradley Beal was underrated too.
Yeah.
But now people are seeing it. Zach LaVine's nice. I know. Oh, yo, speaking of the Bulls, yo, rest in peace, Lonzo Ball. He didn't die.
Rip his knees, bro.
Rip his knees. Rip his NBA career. Man.
I genuinely believe Lonzo Ball's never gonna play again.
I think he's cooked. I think Lonzo Ball.
It's really sad because like people forget about this. Like when Lonzo Ball was on the court, the Bulls were really good.
He was. They were. Sorry. He's a great defender, great 3-point shooter. At the time, he was in Chicago. It sucks what's happening to him right now, though.
Lonzo Ball was my favorite player when I was in high school and middle school. Coming out of Chino Hills, UCLA, that was a magical run. Just love Lonzo Ball. I have a Lonzo Ball Lakers jersey too. I bought it when he got drafted. I'm not that big of a fan. I was Lonzo Ball for Halloween because apparently people.
His peak was definitely on the Lakers.
The hype for Lonzo Ball was insane. I really thought Lonzo Ball was a great piece to a championship team, great playmaker, can score. His scoring hasn't been where I wanted it to be, but could play defense. Had Chicago at one point as one of the best teams in the East, but his knees, man, his knees.
So
speaking of back to Zach LaVine, his camp.
The Knicks.
His camp said hell no to the Knicks.
Oh, I know.
His camp said hell no to the Knicks.
So the Bulls.
That's why I said, bro, the Knicks have the most overrated aura ever. No one wants to be a Knick. No one wants to be a Knick. I knew it was overrated when Kyrie and KD said Brooklyn over New York Knicks.
Well, they're stupid.
The Bulls with Lonzo Ball had a 22-13 record with them.
Yeah. In 2021, 2022, they were nice.
They were a good team with them. Like
they were a good team.
But like when you have DeMar DeRozan, the like expectation
when DeRozan exists,
like when DeMar DeRozan, like like in the regular season, you're like, oh, DeMar DeRozan averaging like 26, 27 a game, and then you're in the playoffs and you just become like, God.
People were hyping him up to be like a top 3 MVP candidate, bro. Jesus Christ, he fooled everyone.
I actually have another good question. In your opinion, who is the worst star to drop in the playoffs?
Well, you said DeMar. I'm gonna say Sabonis.
Sabonis being like top 5 on so many MVP brackets was man. It's really hurting my accolades merchant argument because
thank God he's not a top.
Bonus being like 5 on so many MVP brackets.
How about this? I'm gonna search up his playoff resume. He's only been to 4 playoffs. 2023, he dropped from 19 to 16 on what true shooting percentage? 67 to 52. Okay, good job, Sabonis. 20. Now we're in 2019.
Bonus.
I don't like him. 2019. He went from 14 to 9 points a game to 63 to 49 true shooting. Sorry, 48. And in 2018, I'm not going to use 2017 just because he barely played. In 2017, 2018, 11 points to 12 points. You proved me wrong there, Sabonis. Congrats.
He's just overrated.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
overrated.
Okay,
Yeah.
2017, 18, he rose. Congrats, Sabonis, but not moving me still.
Yo, shout out to Mar DeRozan from going 28 on 59 true shooting to 20 on 48 true shooting last year.
Oh, my. Wait, last year, as in when they played Milwaukee in the first round?
Yeah,
Or-
yeah.
Oh.
I mean, he had 41 in game 2, and he fooled the youth again. So,
Dude, Domantas Sabonis is so overrated, man.
yeah, like I said, he isn't a top 10 center. So,
Oh, top 10 center might be a little far, but
No. Dude, people should have known this when in Indiana, he was literally a negative on the court.
he was bad in Indiana.
he was.
Yo, that's LeBron's comp, by the way.
Oh my gosh, Michael Jordan has better comp
Bro,
because LeBron had Domantas Sabonis.
No, people got so mad at you like about that, like with
I
the
know.
2016 comp.
First of all, that
dude,
video hurt my heart.
You're literally right, because when you look at like LeBron's 4 champions, it's easily the worst East like he's ever had.
People hate, bro, because it hurt to make that video because I'm a huge LeBron fan. He's my favorite athlete ever. And 2016 was like my favorite year ever, other than 2018. And it hurt, but you gotta accept the facts. LeBron fans are just so insecure. They just call you a hater if you bring up any like real criticism, because outside of those last three games of that NBA final, out of all the teams that won the championship, that has to be one of the worst playoff runs ever, right? Like that has to be.
Yeah.
Outside of the last 3 games of that NBA final, that has to be one of the worst playoff runs I've ever seen. They go from, I mean, I'm not discrediting that last 3 games of the finals. It was great. Andre Drummond, Tobias Harris, Markieff Morris, Caldwell Pope comp sucks in the first round. And Kyrie was the leading scorer of that series, by the way. Second round, a regressed Atlanta Hawks. Everyone keeps saying that was a 60-win team. That was a year before, and that was still a fraud 60-win team, by the way. That was still a fraud 60-win team. That team wasn't that good. They regressed, and your best comp is what? Paul Millsap shooting sub 40, Al Horford, and Dennis Schroeder. That's not comp. And on a historical level, by the way. And even in the current day NBA, like that current West was way better than the East.
I mean, and also you got Toronto with Lowry and DeRozan. Like,
oh my God.
They
like,
won 6 games. They did go 6 games. I'm not denying that. They did go 6 games.
But that's also a testament. That's also a testament on LeBron, too, because LeBron wasn't crazy in any of those playoff series. Like, he was like just
good.
Relative mid LeBron. Now, relative mid LeBron is like honestly for anyone else, but he was like, what, 23 to 25 points per game for that entire playoff run going into the last 3 games of the NBA Finals.
I think 2012 is his hardest comp, because Miami, they faced the Knicks with Melo. Like, I get it. It's the Knicks.
That's better.
He's the GOAT.
But the second round,
they had Tyson Chandler too, right?
Yeah, they had Chandler too.
Defensive
defensive player.
That flagrant. I remember it. That flagrant. That was bullshit. But anyway, Indiana. Indiana wasn't in 2013 Indiana, but they were still one of the best defenses.
Great defense,
in the league. They had Paul George, Danny Granger, Roy Hibbert. They were actually up 2-1 against Miami. They were up 2-1 against Miami, and then Boston.
That's it.
Boston.
That's it.
A really bad offense, but the best defense in the league.
I agree with you on the hardest playoff run.
Like I said, for 2016, take away the last 3 games of the NBA Finals. You have Andre Drummond playoff comp, Al Horford playoff comp, DeMar DeRozan playoff comp, and then the NBA Finals are down 3-1. That's a horrible playoff run.
It is. Like, dude,
meanwhile, Kobe Bryant and these dudes are going through Phoenix, going through Dallas, going through San Antonio in a single playoff run before they get to the NBA Finals.
The Phoenix Suns are frauds.
Is playing real championship teams going into the NBA Finals. The 2018 playoff run, I don't think they played anybody, but the difference was in 2018, although the comp wasn't that crazy too. I think Toronto was better in 2018 than 16, but although the comp wasn't crazy,
Indiana was
the Cavs were worse. So the run was better because the Cavs were worse. When you think about 2016 too, I didn't even say this in the video. Kyrie was better than anybody on the opposing side. He was better than everyone on the opposing side. He was better than DeRozan. I don't care what the All-NBA says because Kyrie was hurt during that year. He was better than DeRozan. He was better than Lowry. He was better than Drummond, not hard. Better than Millsap, not hard. He was better than everyone in the run. He was even better than Curry in the finals. So your second best player was – I'm kind of hating on LeBron right now. Your second best player was better than every opponent you saw. Think about that for a second. And not only – and you're playing weak comp too.
By the way, Kobe in 2010, he faced 3 50-win teams before the finals.
That's why I like Kobe. That's why I don't think Kobe gets enough credit. Kobe was playing tough comp every single year he wants to win.
He played Oklahoma City in the first round, who won 50 games as an 8 seed.
2010, and KD was a scoring champ.
Yeah, 20. Oh,
Dropper.
Yeah.
Oh, he did drop, but he was still a scoring champ. That's like name value going into the series. He was still the scoring
52 to 48% field goal.
He was still a scoring champ, though. You're playing a 30-point per game guy.
I know.
They swept Utah, but like if you actually like look at those like 4 games, they were all like 3 of the 4 games. They're all by like 5 points or less. So not like an easy sweep, like not an easy sweep, but it was still a sweep. Then they still played the Suns. They weren't as good as like 07 or 06, but they were still a really good team. One of the best offenses in the league. And then they play the Boston Celtics in the NBA Finals, who 2 years ago they literally won the chip. So,
like what people like for LeBron's playoff run, especially like in his first stint in Cleveland, he had a gauntlet: Pistons, Boston, Orlando. He had some tough teams.
Yeah,
but that second stint in Cleveland, it was always Cleveland, Golden State, and like 3 teams in the West, and then you had like Toronto maybe, and that's it. There wasn't
Boston,
any like real comp out the. I mean, there was comp in the East, right? And like Toronto was still like comp-ish. But when I think about comp in a playoff run, I'm thinking about teams that legit could beat you, teams that can at least legit contend for a title. And I don't think like Atlanta was going to contend for a title even as a 60-win team. I really don't. I was a Cavs fan. I was a LeBron fan during that time, and LeBron fans know it too. No LeBron fan was like shook going into the finals that, we're going to actually play a team that could beat. No, they weren't. And there's some dumb people in my comments like you play the people ahead of them. Like it's not the Cavs' fault that they were the number 1 seed. No matter who you threw at them in the East, what their seeding was, they would have killed them all. Like, stop, bro.
Yeah, they just like
no. And like LeBron fans also say like, like look at his team. Like, dude, he easily had the best team in 2017.
Easily.
Yeah, like
Easily
LeBron, like LeBron and the Cavs, they were just coasting through the regular season. I mean, it was kind of obvious.
No, like I'm looking at
the 1 seed every single year outside of 2018.
I'm looking at this 2017 run. Cleveland and Indiana, sweep. Cleveland and Toronto, sweep. Cleveland and Boston, 4-1.
It was an Avery Bradley game-winning shot away from the sweep.
In game two, the Cleveland Cavaliers beat the Boston Celtics 130 to 86.
They were up like
that 50. Is comp.
They were up 50 at one point. It was that bad. Isaiah Thomas was absolutely sad that series.
They lost by 54 points.
Yeah, and they were a Bradley Beal game winner away in Cleveland from sweeping them. So, Bradley Beal actually had a tough playoff. Not Bradley Beal, Avery Bradley. He had a tough series. I don't even know why. He's not even that
Avery
great.
Bradley's nice. I like him.
Like, dude, honestly, the only team I can say that like could have been decent comp in 2017 was Washington's, because I thought Washington was a good team. I thought
John Wall would say so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought Washington was honestly a better matchup for Cleveland than Boston.
They were in the regular season.
Like, I feel bad for John Wall because, like, I thought I really wanted John Wall in the conference.
But that was, dude, Isaiah Thomas had an insane run that playoff, like going in before the Cavs series. That was the series his sister died too. Like, he was just going insane.
Yeah, but
then he just got hurt, whatnot. Then
the Lakers playoff run this year clears any playoff run the Cavs had.
So
as far as competition, Grizzlies were better than any team they played. It's literally John Morant and a nice Memphis team. Golden State is Steph Curry. You have Golden State now. It's not the Golden State you played in the finals, but it's still Golden State in the postseason.
Yeah.
And that's better than any team in the East.
I mean, Minnesota got a game out of Denver. Lakers couldn't.
And then they played the Denver Nuggets. Like,
So, you want to do this? Rank LeBron's 4 championship runs: 2012, 2013, 2016, 2020. Rank them.
Okay. 1, 2012. 2, what was the other 3?
It was 2013, 2016, and 2020 because LeBron wins the chip.
2, 2013, then 3 and 4.
I'm taking 2020.
I'm gonna take
honestly.
2020 to be honest, because like that was his playmaking peak. Even though that he destroyed these teams in the bubble, Blazers beat them in 5 games, Rockets beat them in 5 games, Nuggets beat them in 5 games, Heat beat them in 6 games. I mean, like the comp wasn't the best,
it was
but
still better comp in the West than it was in the East.
The thing is though, like even then, like I think honestly the Nuggets were like better than any team in the East. Like I think the
Yes.
Nuggets were better than Toronto.
We're not giving Houston credit for being just an all-time duo.
I also think Houston, even regardless, like
they were a
I think
great team
also-
still.
I think if Houston was fully healthy, because Russell Westbrook was not fully healthy.
Yeah,
like,
he was not.
I'm not saying it would go to 7 because I'm not saying I think it would probably go to 6, if he was fully healthy, maybe.
Yeah, and those teams were able to get games off the Cavs. I mean the Lakers when those teams that played the Cavs weren't able to.
I think most of the Denver games were close too.
Yeah.
Honestly though, is
Same with
2016
Portland.
LeBron a top 8 version of him?
The
That's
problem
so
is like you
oddly
want to say
specific.
yes if we're just straight up counting. If you're just straight up counting the last 3 games in the NBA Finals, because that's
Yeah.
some of the best moments in NBA playoff history. But
Okay.
it's
Yeah,
for
so-
the totality of a run, they kind of coasted. Like you didn't see try-hard LeBron until the last 3 games of that final.
Let's name the season. So for like 2016. So
2013, 2013.
So 2012 to 2014, like clear.
Yeah,
You agree with
2013, 2012, 2009, 2014, 2017, 2018, 2020.
Yeah, like 2017, they lost at 5 games in the finals, but I think they played slightly better comp in the playoffs. And LeBron clears in 2017 than he did in 2016.
I also think LeBron had a better finals in 2017 than 2016.
Yes.
Yeah, he did.
But 16 ended with a ring.
I mean, 2016 it was
We
still
were
great. 2016 was still a great final performance by LeBron either way. Like he still played great defensively, playmaking wise, he was still great. Scoring wise, he was good still. I mean, like
I think LeBron gets overrated in 2016 because people think it's clearly the best finals performance ever.
mm-mm.
It's
You know what happened?
No,
But what about this?
No, I'm not listen, I'm not denying
It's not number 1 though. No, it's not.
It's not number 1. It's not
It's
number 1.
93 MJ.
Yeah,
It's 93 MJ.
Bro needed to drop.
My
41
question
points.
is, which final performance was better, 2021 Giannis or 2016 LeBron?
From a statistical standpoint, from a player performance alone, 2021 Giannis.
Okay.
The thing about Giannis, dude.
But when you throw in the narratives and the fact that they were down 3-1, Golden State 73-9, Cleveland, this is for you. LeBron still played great in the last 3 games. It would be LeBron. But Giannis was down 0-2. Giannis was down 0-2.
Giannis was down 0-2. He was coming off an injury. He shot 30. Like you can shit on
statistically
DeAndre
better than
Giannis.
LeBron.
Like even though that
you can crap on DeAndre Ayton. You're dropping 35 on like 70 true shooting, playing great defense the entire time.
not even that was one of the best defensive final performances in the 21st century, probably behind 2000
and 50 in a closeout. 50 in a closeout.
So
that all right, that 50-point game, that was one of the craziest games I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Man, I wish we got more of that Giannis. Man.
Like people forget. Like
Yeah,
they put 2022 Curry's Finals MVP over 2021 Giannis Finals MVP. I can't agree with that because 2021 Giannis was just amazing defensively. He really was.
He's also a better scorer too.
He also wasn't getting drop coverage played on him by Al Horford.
Yeah. That wasn't even drop coverage, bro.
Jaden, he was also a better scorer in that finals too. Like, by a lot.
Not by a lot. I mean, probably Got to think about that actually.
He's better.
I mean,
Like,
Didn't Steph literally win a game?
Steph had that really bad game again.
Yeah, Steph won a game and he was ass. Like he had
he
that one
did,
bad
he
game.
did, he did.
They literally won a game when he was ass. I've never seen that before because I feel like if Jordan was like, oh, Jordan.
I mean, look, Chris Middleton carried Giannis in Game 4. So what about that?
True. Chris Middleton is underrated because there's like that one game when Chris Middleton had 40. Like Chris Middleton was taking like the closing shots of some of those.
Yeah,
games.
he was. He went like 15 or 30 that game.
Like,
I mean,
my thing is about Chris Middleton. I never thought he would work like with Giannis.
You know what's the funniest thing ever? Because I was looking back at like my old camera rolls and my group chats with my old group chat saved memories and stuff with my boys the other day, and we have some like old basketball takes in there. Remember when Giannis lost in the bubble to Miami and his contract was up? Everyone and their mom said Giannis has to get the hell out of Milwaukee or he'll never win a championship. Him and Chris Middleton is not that good. And then he literally won a championship the next year. I think when I think about my coldest takes ever, that's probably my coldest take ever.
No, the funniest thing is I remember this vividly after Giannis lost to the Heat. They were showing the graphic of LeBron and Giannis's timeline, and it was nearly identical. Both of them had 2 MVPs. Both of them lost in the second round. The year before, they lost in the conference final.
And they played 7 seasons.
Exactly.
7 seasons.
Yeah.
And their contract was up. Time to leave.
Yeah.
Bro.
That's my worst take ever.
That's my worst take ever. I said Giannis never win a ring.
Taking my talents to New York City now.
And the Knicks fans thought they were getting
taking my guidance to the LA Lakers to form like.
Bro, imagine him with Stephen Curry though. That's literally
the closest thing we'll ever see to Steph and Shaq.
It is. It literally will be. I think. Speaking of Steph and Shaq, I think that'd be the best duo of all time. But anyways, Giannis and Steph. I mean, like, who's stopping that?
Yeah.
Goat pork.
I think I'm low-key cooking though. I think I've kind of saved myself. I think one of my best takes ever is coming up. One of my best takes ever is that the Milwaukee Bucks might be a one-and-done championship or will struggle to win another championship after that first one. I said it as soon as they won the finals, and it's kind of
I think
Chris Middleton might leave. Brook Lopez might leave. It's looking a little okay. It's looking like I'm spitting.
If Giannis, I said this.
I was also a salty LeBron fan when I said that take when AD got hurt. So I was a little salty.
Giannis might have a Kareem career arc. I don't know.
Maybe. I hope he doesn't go to the Lakers. I hope he goes to someone from the Knicks, but that'd be fine.
He might have a Kareem career arc. And finally, rise in the playoffs besides 2021. But anyway.
Hey, maybe he plays a Mickey Mouse defense. I was wanting a Giannis, Anthony Davis NBA Finals. That would have been the most insane thing ever. Lakers trying to go back to back.
Dude, before LeBron retires, I need to see a Giannis versus LeBron NBA Finals.
It won't count. I'm not going to put too much stock in it because LeBron being year 21, year 22. It would be
similar to when people wanted LeBron and Kobe in the finals in 2009.
It would be more of like a Giannis AD.
Yeah, but Kobe was still a top 2 player in the league.
Bro, don't say that out loud because so many LeBron fans will get so mad at you if you say if it's Giannis versus AD instead of Giannis versus LeBron.
A lot of LeBron.
I'm sorry,
fans,
AD's better than LeBron.
He is. AD's better than LeBron.
I've been saying AD's better than LeBron since 2021. And
whoa, really?
Yeah, because I saw the postseason when Anthony Davis was clearly the best player on the team, played elite defense while also scoring at better than LeBron.
Honestly, it's not even a bad take.
So I saw the Phoenix series, and I saw the 2020 in the regular 2021 in the regular season. I said LeBron was the best player, but then the postseason, I'm like, we might be getting to the point where the way we're going to win is if Anthony Davis is our best player.
Personally,
they went up 2-1 against Phoenix when Anthony Davis had back-to-back 34-point games and LeBron James was barely scoring 20.
Personally,
we were getting to that point where Anthony Davis was going to be the best player on the Lakers. And I saw it coming.
Yeah.
I saw it coming. I said, we're going to get to the point where Anthony Davis is going to have to be the best player on the Lakers. His 30 points is more valuable than LeBron's 30 points. And it's been showing for the last 2 years.
But he's too inconsistent offensively. Like, I feel like people just forget the fact that he's, I think, clearly the best defender in the league.
Yeah, he is.
I don't think he's that. I think people
It's
over.
Jaren Jackson Jr. He has a defensive player of the year.
Actually, Marcus Smart.
Yeah, Drew Holiday is the best defender in the
Marcus
league.
Smart
Actually,
might be one of the worst defensive player of the years of all time.
I feel like they just didn't know who to give it to.
No. My thing about Marcus Smart, he's like an all-time guard defender.
it should have been to Gobert. It should have been to Gobert. I don't care. It should have been to Gobert.
Rudy Gobert.
Rudy Gobert.
Has anybody heard of this dude?
Yeah, Rudy Gobert, defensive player of the year, 3 in a row.
Well, we've been chatting for a little too long. An hour and 25.
It's an hour and a half.
Yeah, but it's cool though. That was a W pod. Talked about it a lot. Shout out to CP0. Hopefully he gets a ring. Psych. I ain't trying to get Curry to get another championship.
Shout out Malone for inspiring guys like Andre Drummond. But
Andre Drummond. I remember the take of the Andre Drummond of the 80s, Moses Malone. That's a great thing. Andre Drummond of the 70s, Wilt Chamberlain sucks at scoring.
No, he does not.
A bunch of rebounds.
Top 4 player of all time.
Okay. Modern day Kevin Garnett, Julius Randle. Shout out to him.
Yeah.
Hold on
Julius Randle with defense.
Julius Randle with defense.
Yep, he's right.
Garnett's revenge gets so mad when I say that.
He gets mad when I say your favorite player doesn't have a finals.
No, because like if you look at Kevin Garnett's like box score stats compared to Julius Randle's best season, they're actually identical.
Yeah, they are. Like realistically, probably Julius. All right, no, I'm chatting. But your favorite player of all time doesn't have a Finals MVP. That's like weird. Sorry.
Mine. Well, technically, mine does.
I'll switch to Kawhi Leonard.
I'll switch to Jerry West.
I'll switch to Wilt Chamberlain. No, I've always been on Wilt Chamberlain. Actually, sorry.
Weird.
Is that Wilt Chamberlain in your profile, bro? Dog, like
you just realized
some all-time glazing.
But that's not glazing. You have LeBron with the Cincinnati red, with the red hat on.
Yeah, LeBron's got 4 Finals MVP. Wilt's got 1, but
Wilt's got
Mickey Mouse Finals MVP.
Mickey Mouse.
No,
okay.
I mean,
if LeBron James got outscored by Billy Cunningham in the NBA final, I think we'd be crucifying him. But
it's not just scoring that we look at, right?
It's
not just scoring that we look at, right?
Yeah.
So the Andre Drummond.
Black hole.
Black hole is not a black hole, actually, but we'll keep it moving.
1967 NBA Finals. Let's pull it up real quick before I get out of here. 67. Oh my lord.
1967. One of the best finals performance. One of the best finals runs.
Wally Jones. Who is that?
What about him?
Jet
what about
Walker? Who is that?
What about him? What about them?
Hal Greer is a stud. I actually like Hal Greer.
Hal Greer is good.
Hal Greer is good. He was doing it on like kind of some insane volume though.
Oh, okay. You know what? I'll read off I'll read off with Chamberlain 1967.
All right, no, dude. Will was good in that finals. Wilt's efficiency was good. He still gave you 18 and literally gave you 29 rebounds, playing defense
with amazing defense.
He's one of the best defenders ever. He's going to be against Nate Thurman.
But when you're 7 foot and like taller,
and you're dropping against the worst error in basketball, you're not top 10.
Hey, he's a playoff dropper. Hey,
playoff dropper does not mean
if he knew how to shoot free throws and could hit a couple more shots, maybe he'd have more championships.
He literally shot 31% from the free throw line that series.
No, I'm talking about the 69 finals.
Oh, I know. But still, he literally shot 31% from the free throw.
All right, but anyways.
I mean when you can play great defense against a shitty offense because the Warriors' offense is not good there.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in. 45th episode of the Some Casual Takes podcast. Shout out to Jade and shout out to Kieran. Next episode should be Monday. I hope if my schedule aligns at 12:30. I'm never going back to Chipotle, so it won't delay an episode again. But until then, make sure you're following the TikTok. And goodbye.
See you guys.
Facts. See ya.